I put them in the bottom one.
गोपाल तो हो गौरी जीवनी देवी Anybody would like to lead? Any volunteers? Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana
Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana
Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya
Keshi Gata Vamshi Bata द्वादशकनाना जहासा बैलो कोइलो श्री नंदानंदाना
Krishnadevam Shivara Swadasakana Yamasavariya Koino
Nanda Jashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagana Sri Ramti Jaya Jaya Srivastagana
Srinanda Yashoda Jagagopadana Shri Ramadiya Jaya
Jaya Vrishabhanu Jaya Kripida Sundari Jaya Purnimasi Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Vrishabhanu Jaya Kripida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Abhiranagari
Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanamaja Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Batu Dvijaraja
Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanamaja Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Batu
Jaya Rama Gata Jaya Rohini Nandana Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Basi Jata Jana
Jaya Rama Jaya 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 Vrindavana Basi Jata Jana
Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanya Gana Bhakti Sita Jahara Pailo Govinda Charana
Jaya Vijapati Jaya Naga Kanya Gana Bhakti Jahara Pailo Govinda Charana
Shri Rasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shama Jaya Jaya Rasa Lilo Sarva Manorama
Sri Rasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shama Jaya Jaya Rasa Lila Sarva
Jaya Jo Vijwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sara Parakiya Bhare Jaha Brati Te Parachara Sri Jahanava Pada Padma Koriya Smarana Dina Krishna Dase Kohe Nama Sankirtana Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopi Nata Madana Mohana Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopi Nata Madana Mohana Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Harinti Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahavana Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Harinti Vamsi Bata Swadashakanana Jahasa Balila Korilo Shri Nandanandana Yashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagana Sri Ramaji Jaya Jaya Denu Vasagana Sri Yashoda Jaya Gopagana Sri Ramaji Jaya Krishavanu Jaya Kritida Sundari Jaya Purnamachi Jaya Abhiranagari Jaya Krishavanu Jaya Kritida Sundari Jaya Purnamachi Jaya 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 Gopishwara Vrindavana Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Vata
Very nice. Any other song? Anybody would like to volunteer to sing? You want to sing? বড় সুখে খাবার গায়, বড় সুখে খাবার গায়। বড় সুখে খাবার গায়, বড় সুখে খাবার গায়। সুরভি কুঞ্জেতে নামের হাত খুলেছে সুরভি কুঞ্জেতে নামের হাত খুলেছে খোদা নিতাই খোদা বড় মজার কথাটায় বড় মজার কথাটা শ্রদ্ধা মূল্যে শুদ্ধ নাম সেই হাতেতে বিকায় শ্রদ্ধা মূল্যে শুদ্ধ নাম সেই হাতেতে বিকায় কোরআনিকায় जता भक्त वृंदावासी जता भक्त वृंदावासी अधिकारी देखे नाम बेचे कारो फांसी भाई जाड़ी नाम किनबे আমার সঙ্গে চলো মহাজানে কাছে যা খোদা নিতাই কস্তুরী লইব আমি পুনঃ বেকাম খোদা नित्यानंद बोलो दयाल नित्यानंद बोलो दयाल नित्यानंद बोलो दयाल नित्यानंद बोलो दयाल नित्यानंद श्रद्धा मात्रा लय दे परमानंद श्रद्धा मात्रा लय दे परमानंद एक बार देख ले चखे जाल एक बार देख ले चखे जाल बोले निताय दे सकल संभार
गौर बोले निताय दे सकल संभार
खोरा निताय खोरा निताय कृष्णा शिक्षा दे शुद्ध 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 कृष्णा शिक्षा जाति धन विद्या बाला न कोरे अभिष्टा जाति धन विद्या बाला न कोरे जाति धन विद्या बाला न कोरे अभिष्टा जाति धन विद्या बाला न कोरे अभिष्टा खोरा निताय खोरा निताय खोरा Amani chade maya jala mani chade maya jala mani chade maya jala dehe thako bane thako na thake janjal dehe thako bane thako na thake janjal khoda nitay khoda nitay Anai ko kalir bhoy, anai ko kalir bhoy, anai ko kalir bhoy, anai ko kalir bhoy. Achandale de naam nitai dayamo. Achandale de naam nitai dayamo. Khoda nitay, khoda nitay, khoda nitay. Bhakti vinoda daki koi, bhakti vinoda daki koi, bhakti vinoda daki koi, bhakti vinoda daki koi. Nitai charana bina anai kashoy, nitai charana bina anai kashoy. Khoda nitay, khoda nitay, khoda nitay. Boro sukha khabotai, boro sukha khabotai, boro sukha khabotai, boro sukha khabotai. Gulabi khunu kete name hatu lete, gulabi khunu name hatu lete. Khoda nitay, khoda nitay, khoda nitay, khoda nitay. नित्यानंद राम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Any other song? Any other line? Oh, Hari Om. Or class. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। Vancha kalpataruscha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Parakarya Vishwarari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauravananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Panchatatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavtaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in a family of dog eaters becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. How many of you were able to focus last week online? Anybody was able to focus? Nobody was able to focus. How many of you know remember the storyline that we discussed last week? I think Zoom is a failure now. Huh? Sometimes I feel like I'm speaking to four walls. So okay. Anyone remember the storyline? What happened last week? If not the detail, just the storyline. Huh? Okay, say again, Mataji.
By looking at him only, he changed he himself.
Yeah, so we remembered. And before Muslim king, first there was a Gupchar, or the one who is like, what do we call them? Huh? Messenger. First he got Prema, and then he went and he told the Muslim king, and Muslim king sent his confidant. Then he got Prema. Then Muslim king came. And then when Muslim king came, then what did he say? Hindu, why did not I born? Yeah. And now it took me so long to realize your lotus feet and send it to your lotus feet. And from there, this verse comes that this verse is from Devahuti to Kapila Muni, that to say nothing of spiritual advancement, who sees the Supreme Person face to face, even a person born in dog eater becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name, or chants about him, hears about him, offer him obeisances, or remembers him. Any one of the thing, they become eligible. But to speak about somebody seeing face to face. So because they saw the Lord face to face, Mahaprabhu, he was transformed. So it is said, Mahapatra says that it's not something great. What else can we expect from you? That's a story. Okay. So we continue. Today's discussion is little bit, lot of details.
तुम्हें कहा कृष्ण हरि. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then glanced with mercy at the Muslim governor, giving him assurance he asked him to chant the holy names Krishna and Hari. One who has taken to chanting the holy names Krishna and Hari has already received Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy.
So what happened there? He glanced and told him, chant the name of Krishna and Hari. Prabhupada says anybody who is chanting the name of Krishna is assumed that he has received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
The Muslim governor then said, since you have so kindly accepted me, please give me some order so that I can render you some service. If one is purified by following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's orders, that is, by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one must certainly be eager to render service to the Lord. This is the test. When one engages enthusiastically in the Lord's service, it is to be understood that he is reaping the results of chanting the names of Krishna and Hari.
So some reflection on this. What is the test? Eager to render service. When one engages enthusiastically in Lord's service, it is to be understood that he is reaping the result of chanting the name of Krishna and Hari. If one is sincere in chanting, then one will aspire for actively serving the Lord. Prabhupada says in Nectar of Devotion, bhakti is not imaginative ecstasy, it is practical service when we are eager to serve the Lord. And we see that Muslim governor chanted Krishna and Hari, and then he is like, please give me some opportunity to render some service to you.
The Muslim governor then prayed for liberation from the unlimited sinful reactions he had previously incurred by being envious of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and killing cows.
Oh, slide not changing. Yashashvi. Okay, probably 1 second. Pandurang Govinda Prabhu. Now see, I think it will change now.
It's changing.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So what happened before? Just now what happened?
Sinful reaction.
Yeah, for killing Vaishnavas and cows. Okay. He asked for service and then he begged forgiveness, and Mukunda Dutt gave him a service.
Please give him all assistance so that we can do this is your first great mother, and if you can complete, we will render a great service.
Allow him to cross over your zone, the danger zone, and go to the other side.
After this, the Muslim governor offered praise to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as to the lotus feet of all his devotees. After that, the governor departed. Indeed, he was very pleased.
Why was he very pleased?
He allowed to
An opportunity to render service. Got something. So he paid obeisances and left.
Before the governor left, the Mahapatra embraced him and offered him many gifts. He thus established a friendship with him.
Because it was long enmity since time immemorial. Yes, Prabhu.
The next morning, the governor sent his secretary with many nicely decorated boats to bring Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to other side of the river.
So, but then what happened next day?
The governor sends
Lot of boats he sent. Why lot of boats? We'll see that. Huh? He was accompanied. What? Oh, okay. That's one answer also. And there is one more answer. Thank you. Many devotees are following, so a lot of boats are needed. Thank you.
the Mahapatra crossed the river with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when they reached the other shore, The Muslim government personally received the Lord and worshipped his lotus feet.
Then he was waiting. Then he worshipped his lotus feet when he saw Mahaprabhu coming with all the devotees.
One of the boats had been newly constructed and it had a room in it. It was only the boat that between and Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu.
That also shows everything they would use for Mahaprabhu knew and used for anybody else. It is said in deity worship that one should not offer anything used by us in the service of the Lord. And one cannot offer anything which is used by the Lord in the service of the Lord. It is used by Lord in the service of the Lord. In a way, generally prasad, if it is offered to him, then we cannot use. But this is okay. But any bhoga we cannot offer if it is tasted by him.
Finally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade farewell to the Mahapatra. Standing on the river bank and looking at the boat, the Mahapatra began to cry.
So he was standing and Mahapatra, he said, go back. And Mahaprabhu became emotional. Mahapatra, the servant of Maharaj Prataprutra.
The Muslim governor will personally accompany Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of pirates, the governor took 10 boats full of many soldiers.
This is one of the reasons that now they have to go to another part where lot of underground pirates goes. And they just capture anyone and everyone, cruel people. So him with 10 boats full of many soldiers. So nobody can attack Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Obviously, if they see Mahaprabhu, they'll become pure devotees. But governor was thinking, I should protect.
The Muslim governor accompanied Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu past Mantreshwara. This place was very dangerous due to pirates. He took the Lord to a place named Chichalda, which was near Mantreshwara.
So he helped further across the other side.
Finally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begged the governor favor. The intense ecstatic love exhibited by the governor cannot be described.
He was very grateful.
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are all in common. Whoever listens to his activities becomes glorious and his love becomes perfect.
So let's hope. Whoever listens to this pastime becomes glorious, life becomes perfect.
As an actor must see to carry the captain of the boat along with his personal belongings.
So finally, the Lord reached Panihati by the boat, and then he gave the captain personal garment. Anybody, anything clicking from Panihati? What clicks? Anything else? Panihati? Panihati? Nothing else. Just Panihati. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed near Panihati. There is a place, just walking distance from there. It's called Kardaha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first 11 years he spent in Eka Chakra, and then Nityananda Prabhu first 11 years in Eka Chakra, and then he spent almost 4 to 5 years in the house of Shivas Thakur when there was this Gaul Leela happening in Mayapur. And then he accompanied Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Puri. And then he stayed in Puri for 2 to 3 years. Mahaprabhu tour was 2 years. Then Mahaprabhu came back and he told Nityananda Prabhu to leave. And then he went to travel and preach in Bengal. That was the instruction given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu, then he came to this place called Kardaha near Panihati. And one of the associate of Nityananda Prabhu was Raghav Pandit. Have you heard about Raghav Jhali? Raghav Jhali? Raghav Pandit and his sister Damayanti, this comes in Ante Leela. They would send lot of prasads for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when they would go for 4 months. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will eat that prasad for 1 year. It won't go bad. Anything Raghav Pandit and his sister would cook, it won't go bad. For 1 year, Mahaprabhu would taste. So there is if you go to that temple, this is all next to Panihati. These are the three main places. One is um, Raghav Pandit's home, and one is Kardaha. And that's where even Nityananda Prabhu got married to Janva Mata and his sister. And Janva Mata, Vasudha, Nityananda Prabhu, along with his son, whose name was? Son of Nityananda Prabhu's name was? Avir Bhadra. Huh? Bhairava. Maybe he has another something. I don't know. So they all stayed in Kardaha for over 30 years. So if you see Nitai's life, this is a very important place. One very interesting pastime happened. Me and Anantari Prabhu. We all know Anantari Prabhu. So we went to, last year we went for God Purnima. So I don't know how interesting it is. I still remember very vividly. So me and Ananthari Prabhu, we didn't want to take the taxi. I told him, Prabhu, why to waste money? Let's go by a train. So we were going by the train, and then we saw Ganga. So we were like, let's take bath. It's auspicious. After taking bath in Ganga, then we'll go. So we went to get the train and we lost the train. Then we were like, okay, when is the next train? Well, next train is this time, but it doesn't go directly. It goes till this station. And from there, after half an hour, there is another train that goes to Ekachakra. Okay, so we went to that station. It was 2 hours, and that train stopped in the middle, giving passage to some other train. And finally, it reached, and in front of us, that train was going. And then we stayed there. Anandari Baba was like, Dita is like this, you always test us. So we have to go. And I'm determined. I told him, Prabhu, I don't think Dita wants us to go there. Otherwise, first we missed that train, and now we missed this train. Then we were still very determined. So we are like, no, one more try. Then they said, from here, there is, and that direct Ekachakra train is after 8 hours. So we had a flight in the night. So then we were like, okay, we had a lot of luggage with us because at least some luggage with us that we were carrying. So then we found that from that station, I don't remember the names. We were just having the map and everything. Very interesting and lot of ups and downs in that yatra to Ekachakra. Then we got another train. That train took us to the place from where after again half an hour, 1 hour, there is the train that goes to Ekachakra. We took that train. We didn't know there was an empty that thing. कोई बैठा नहीं था. I mean, one bogie, nobody was sitting. So we thought, oh, good. We sat comfortably. Then one Mataji came and she said, this is ladies' compartment only. Then she said, if you don't go out, we will tell the supervisor. मैंने कहा ट्रेन को तो रुकने दो तभी जाएंगे. So we went to the other bogie. Then we went, and when we went there, the train was going to Ekachakra. 3 times we missed the train. Ananthari Prabhu said, now we'll take a cab. No more trains. Now we have to go to Ekachakra. I said, Prabhu, Ekachakra, Nityananda Prabhu is not allowing us. Let's take a humble position. If Nitai wanted, the very first train to Ekachakra he would have got. We have already spent 3 and 4 hours and we are still on the trains only. Then he said, okay, surrender. What do we do? I said, let's go to Calcutta. Then we like, where do we go in Calcutta? I said, let's take a train, let's go to airport. So we sat for the airport to Calcutta. On the way, Anantari Prabhu developed a desire, Prabhu, nearby there is Panihati. I have been there in Maharaj Yatra 2-3 years back. It's a very nice place. Let's go there. And then I'm like, what do we have to do? He said, there is a train. Then he did some research. He said, we get down there, and then we have to take a bus there. And then we walk. Then we'll have 4 or 5 hours there, 4 hours. And then we'll be able to catch the midnight flight back to Delhi. So I'm like, let's see. I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami place. So I went to Panihati. Panihati, they said there is a home of Nityananda Prabhu. Till that time, I did not know that there is a home of Nitai. Then the temple president there, who we have a Bhakti Jaro Maharaj has built a temple in Panihati, ISKCON temple. So he said, why don't you go? There is Raghav Jhali and there is this. So first we took bath. It's on the bank of Ganga. Naturally, we see on the bank of Ganga, the Chira Dahi Panihati festival happened. So we prayed there. Then we went to Raghav Jhali. And then from there we went to Kardaha. And there was Janava Mata. There is a Samadhi of Vasudha. And there is a home of Nityananda Prabhu. And then we asked them, so tell us what pastime happened here. Then they said Nityananda Prabhu spent his entire life here. So me and Anthony Prabhu, we felt like, okay, Nitai wanted us to come here. We already went to Eka Chakra, that was initial 11 years, and he spent 35 years here. That's how I came to know about Kardaha. Like when you visit a place, you actually make a relationship with it. Otherwise, it's difficult. Like if we just hear, it's just here. But now because we went to Panihati, Kardaha, Raghav Jhali, so those impressions are very deep. That's why Dham visit is very important. You actually relate. If somebody says Radhakund, you immediately connect to Radhakund. But you have never seen Radhakund, it's like you have to imagine. So there we heard a lot of glories about Nityananda Prabhu. And then we stayed, devotees were very nice care, took nice prasad. There were 2 brahmacharis with us, and we were on bike. I was sitting with one brahmachari, another was sitting another brahmachari, and we roam around the streets of Panihati, Kardaha, and Raghav Jhali. Then we took a bus and went to airport. So it was, because 4 hours of tapasya, so very vividly I remember. We will reach it. We'll see a train going. Then I'll ask Anji Prabhu, I hope that is not the train. He said, no, Prabhu, don't worry. We'll get the train. That train must be late. We are just 5 minutes late. This is India. Okay. We asked somebody, oh, that was a train that just left. All the ongoing train on time. Arrival trains late. Yeah, okay. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Panihati. And if you see Nityananda Prabhu, he also went to Panihati, and that's where this pastime happened. Later on, this Panihati festival will come in Antya Leela. That happened when Nityananda Prabhu made, and that's why Raghav Pandit was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. They were together. Okay.
Is it a house still there? Temple now?
Nityananda Prabhu's, yeah. No, it's a temple now.
No, it's time.
And then there is a deity of Janva Mata and Nitai there. And that was his base. So he would his main teaching was Bengal, Nityananda Prabhu's. And he would stay there, and with his wife he would travel. Very interesting. And then we came to know a lot about that place. There is Radha Govind Dev, Radha Gopinath, and Radha Madan Mohan. Just like 3 deities in Jaipur, 3 deities in Vrindavan. Likewise, there is a Gupta Vrindavan there. And they say that anybody who visit these 3 temples on the same day does not have to take birth again, just like the other deities there. But we could not do that because we had very less time. So we just visited one temple. It's like a whole dham there. So after we went there, and every 3-4 homes, it's a dham. If you go, you can try going. It's in Calcutta, na? So generally devotees don't go there generally, because we go to Mayapur, we go to Ekachai, we go to Shantipur, then we come back. We never think about going to Calcutta, and this Panihati is in Calcutta. So there are, yeah. When we go to India, always target few places and then go. But it's very nice. Bhakti Jaru Maharaj made a very nice temple, and there is a ghat, and it's a huge. Ganga is very wide there. Okay, who is supposed to lead now?
The place called Panihati was located on the bank of Ganges. After hearing that the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived, all kinds of men assembled both on land and on the water. The village of Panihati is situated on the banks of Ganges near
Kardaha. That is how we say Kardaha. Or Kharadeha, Karadaha. It's pronounced like this. So what happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Panihati? Arrived where? On the land and in the water. Now you will see a beautiful description of the mass, how people receive Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the first time Mahaprabhu going to Bengal. He only took sannyas and he left. And not everybody will come to Puri. It is said 200 devotees will come. Dui Shata. And Bengal had thousands of devotees. Now Mahaprabhu is going to Bengal to give the mercy. Other than only his close associates will come to Puri. So this is very nice.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken away by Raghava Pandit. There was a great crowd assembled along the way, and the Lord reached Raghava Pandit's residence with great difficulty.
The news came. So as wherever Mahaprabhu was going, devotees are coming in like crazy. And it was very difficult to take Mahaprabhu, and Raghav Pandit expertly managed to bring him to his home. Like you were discussing, there is Raghav Pandit's home, Kardaha and Panihati. So he went, they are all very close. So in Panihati, they went to Raghav Pandit's residence. Mahaprabhu stayed there.
प्रभु तथा परिया निवासा प्रत्येक इमारते जिला यहाँ से निवासा. The Lord stayed at the Raghav Pandita's place for only one day. The next morning he went to Marahata, where Srivasa Thakur lived. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas, Srivasa Thakur left Navadip to due to separation from him and went to Kumarhata.
You can go when you go to Mayapur, Navadip, you can go to Kumarhata. Kumarhata is a place which is where there's a home of Srivas Thakur. So when Mahaprabhu was there in Mayapur, all the devotees were there. After that, Advaita Acharya went to Shantipur. Srivas Thakur went to Kumarhata. And all of them, they were there. Nityananda Prabhu came with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And everything basically scattered from there. So first Mahaprabhu went to Raghav Pandit's home, stayed there for a night, and then he went to the house of Srivas Thakur. This is a summary that we are going to study now, but this will help.
From Kumarhata, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Kanchan Padu, also known as Kanchan Bharata, where Shivananda Srina lived.
So after visiting Srivas Thakur at Kumarhata, then where did Mahaprabhu go? To the house of Shivananda Sri.
After staying 2 days at Shivananda house, the Lord went to the house of Vasudeva Datta. From where he went to the western side of the Navadvipa to the village called Vidyanagara and stayed at the house of Vidya Vachaspati. From Vidyanagara, he went to Kuliya Grama and stayed at Madhavadasa house. He stayed there 1 week and excused the offenses of Devananda and others.
So this we will discuss in detail now, all these things. So where did Mahaprabhu went first? Where? Raghav Pandit's home. After there, then he went to Srivas Thakur. Where? Kumarhata. And from there he went to Shivananda, the same home. I also don't remember the village name. From there he went to after Shivananda Sen, he went to Vasudeva Datta. And from there he went to where is in Kuliya Gram. He stayed there for a week. No, before that he went to Vidyanagar. There he stayed at the house of Vidya Vachaspati. Have you heard this name? Vidya Vachaspati. We will see little more detail in these places. And from there he went to Kuliagram. And there he stayed in the house of Madhavdas's home. And there he forgave offenses. We will see that part also. And from there he went to Ramkeli to deliver Rup and Sanathan. And from there he went to Kanai Natashala. Actually, after first he went to Shantipur to meet Advaita Acharya. Then he went to Ramkeli. Then he went to Kanai Natashala. And then he came back. Are we good so far? Just quick summary. Okay. Huh? Go ahead. And then to the house of Vasudevatta. Yeah, okay. That was a summary. Now it comes in detail. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
वाचस्पति गृहे प्रभु येमति महिमा लोकभु भवे तो The Lord remained sometime in the house of Vidya. But then because it was too crowded, he went to leave.
Wherever Mahaprabhu was going, he could not, so many people were coming. Now here is we will see some details on how many people were coming. This is described. Okay. This is long.
When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Vidya Vachaspati house, many hundreds of thousands of people went to see them and chant the holy name of God. It was so crowded that people could not even find a place to walk. Therefore, they made room by clearing out the jungles near the village.
Here, so many people were coming that there was no space to walk. Then what did they do? They started creating the space in the jungle, clearing the foliages. So there is some way to reach to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Many roads were automatically excavated, and many people also came by boat to see the Lord. So many claimed that women claimed that it was difficult for the boatman to get them across the river. When Vidya Vachaspati Charani arrived, he made arrangements for many boats to receive these people. But the people would not wait for the boats. Somehow or other, they crossed the river and hurried toward the house of Vidya.
So what happened then?
There's not ready to wait for any boat or anything.
Because boat will go and come. So they don't have time. So what would they do?
They can swim or they find whatever they think.
Yeah, actually, my spiritual master has a lecture on this. And he says, first when the boat would arrive, all the people would jump into the boat and the boat will break. Because boat has a capacity, 15, 20. 200 people will jump in. Then the boat would break into pieces. They're like, oh. Then they would take the tree branch. And they would bring the tree branch and sit on a tree branch. Then others people will also try to carry the tree branch. Some will fall down, some will come. That was the crowd. And then my Guru Maharaj says that there were so many people that nobody would drown because throughout there is a big bank. There were people. Continuously the heads were there. Everyone is holding the other person, and the person who is at the shore, he is holding the weight, and it's like everybody is floating and nobody needs a boat, and they just crossed. And they all hurried because they don't know when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may leave from the house of Vidya Vachaspati. They were starting, and my Guru Maharaj said that people were actually shouting to Vidya Vachaspati and to before the yeah, basically people were shouting that where have you hid Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not coming out. Then they actually kind of rushed into the house looking where is Lord Chaitanya. So it is said that Mahaprabhu actually left because he saw the crowd. So Mahaprabhu like, I should leave from here. So this is the kind of response that Mahaprabhu received when he went to Bengal after sannyas for the first time. And here it is said if you see, many hundreds of thousands of people. It's not 1,000, 2,000. It's 100,000, 1 lakh. Many lakhs of people were there who came to get a glimpse of Lord Chaitanya. Anybody who sees Mahaprabhu once, they'll get love of God. Everybody knows that. Koi bacha nahi Mahaprabhu se, because he showed full mercy when he went there. So they were like, one time if Mahaprabhu sees, Mahaprabhu sometimes would see thousands and he would say, chant Hari Hari. Everybody will get it. What a, like, what a shortcut. It's so difficult to make little advance in Krishna consciousness after Mahaprabhu's departure. But this gives a glimpse. And their faith and their love for Lord Chaitanya. Yes, Naresh.
Due to this great crowd, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu secretly went to Kulyanagara. After the Lord left Vijayanagara, however, all the people had news of his leaving. They then accompanied Vasishtha to Kulyanagara. Since the news of the Lord's arrival was immediately broadcast, large crowds had arrived and greeted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great jubilation. Indeed, when the crowd went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it increased 10,000 times in number.
So we cannot imagine. It was already many hundreds of thousands, and that number increased to 10,000 times more. When Mahaprabhu went to Kuliagra in the house of Madhav Das, and 10,000 times more number reached there. And Mahaprabhu had to secretly leave to kind of go to another place. That just gives a glimpse of Mahaprabhu's what response he got when he went to Bengal. So I love this particular pastime very much.
No one could say how many people crossed the river to see him, but many hundreds of thousands made a great tumult when crossing the river Ganges. After crossing the river, everyone began to embrace one another because they heard the good news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival. Thus, all the inhabitants of Puria, the simple, intermediate, and spiritually advanced were favored and glorified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So what happened here? There was a great tumultuous sound, like all that you were like, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So in that way, they were glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and thousands were crossing. When they crossed, they all started embracing each other. Mahaprabhu is here, we'll see Mahaprabhu. So that shows the mood, the jubilation that these devotees have. Yes.
Yeah, I remember some. They remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already went to Kuliagram.
So they all went to Kuliagram now. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu secretly went because with the Vajaspati informed him that my lord, it's very we cannot control. There are like lakhs of people outside. So then he arranged and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu secretly went. Then they all asked Vidya Vajaspati, he said, then he had to tell there were so many people that he went to Kuliagram. So they all started rushing. And on the way, all the people joined. Then increased thousands of times the previous number in Vidyanagar. And they all came.
Finally, they could see Chaitanya.
Oh, like, did they get the mercy or not? Yeah, they got the mercy. Exactly. Same Kulinagar. Yes. Perfect.
Madhavadaasa Krishna Sachiva Nandana Naksha Koti Rupa Sacha Paila Darshana. When the Lord stayed at the house of Madhavdas, many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him.
So then they all rushed to the house of Mother. See him.
Sakadina Ragitata Loka Nistarina Saba Aparadhi Gane Prakhare Tarila. The Lord stayed there for 7 days and delivered all kinds of offenders and sinners.
Here, Mahaprabhu gave lot of mercy. In Kulinagra, lot of mercy. 7 days he stayed. And here, he came out, he gave mercy to all of them who came, and then he would walk the streets also. And many offenders and sinners are who actually found fault in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initially. Because No, because that is a Mahaprabhu took sannyas. He delivered everybody this time. But in the first time, he did not do anything. He just took sannyas and went to Puri. Then he never came to Bengal. After taking sannyas, first time Mahaprabhu is coming here. And anyone and everyone, he delivered. And after this, we will see Mahaprabhu again went to Vrindavan. And then he went via the route of Jharikanda forest. Did not come through Bengal. And after that, he went to Puri. Then he stayed in Puri only. So this is a very rare mercy he gave in Bengal. Specifically wanted to deliver. He delivered in Bengal. He delivered in all the South India, then all the North India. That was his plan. Okay.
Shanti to Prachandya, Prithya, Aichi, Aila, Sachi, Mata, Venu, Tandra, Dukha, and Dana. After leaving Kulia, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the house of Advaitacharya at Shantipur. It was there that the Lord's mother Sachimata met him and was thus relieved of her great unhappiness.
Then after Kulia, then Mahaprabhu went to Shantipur. He at the house of Advaita Acharya. And there he met Sachimata also. And she was in great separation. I mean, Sachimata hasn't seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu since 3-4 years now, 3.5 years. She met him at Shantipur only. Advaita Acharya and Sachimata very close relationship. So then she again was called by Advaita Acharya and he stayed there for 7 days. Okay. So can you all remember where all Mahaprabhu went? Starting from Bengal. First Panihati, Raghav Pandit's home. And then Kumar Hatta, where? Whose home? Srivas Thakur's home. And then Vidyavachaspati home. Before that, he did not go to Shivananda. After Shivananda said, before Vidyavachaspati, Vasudeva. And then Vidyanagar, Vidyavachaspati's home. And then he went to Kuliagram, Madhada's home. And then he went to Shantipur. So he covered one by one everyone. Okay. These were like the main associates. One is Shivananda Sen, one is Shivas Thakur, one is Advaita Acharya, Sachimata. So he met all these devotees. Okay.
This has all been described very elaborately when we have lost it.
60 for 10 days. For rest, you have to read Chaitanya Bhagavat. For what I was in those 10 days. Actually, this is very nice thing with the different Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas, they don't overlap. So you have to read all the Leelas, all the books. There are 7-8 books to actually understand the passing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Incidents because they are already been described by the included. There is no need to repeat the same information as expectation will immediately increase the sense of wisdom.
He says, I will not say anything on this. After this, he left. Then he went to the other aspect. Now we are going back to CC Madhya first chapter. Few verses from there. Because if you see Madhya Leela, we didn't read the first chapter. Because the first chapter was actually the summary. And that's why we did not read. The whole Madhya Leela is summarized in the first chapter. And so we went into detail. But here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he says, since I already described in first chapter of Madhya Leela, the detail of going to Ram Keli, he did not describe in 16th chapter. Mahaprabhu visit from there to Ram Keli and Kanai Natshala. So we are referring to this chapter for the sake of continuity
Hmm.
from here, so that we are in continuous flow.
Here will be large. I have in period now. Many hundreds of thousands of people came to see him.
So this looks like repetition because this is from the first chapter. So again, we are starting from Kulinagram again, just for the sake of completeness.
The specific acts performed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at this time were his showing favor to Devananda Pandit and excusing the Brahma known as Gopal Chapala from the offense he had committed at the lotus feet of Srivastava.
Now, how many are aware of Devananda Pandit's story? Devananda Pandit. Devananda Pandit. No Devananda Pandit. Okay. Do you remember the Shivas Thakur? Both of these people offended Shivas Thakur. I mean, poor Shivas Thakur. सब लोग उनका अपराध करते थे. One is Gopal Chapala. You remember Gopal Chapala offending Shivas Thakur? Gopal Chapala offending Shivas Thakur. You remember? Do you remember Devanand Pandit offending Shivas Thakur? You remember? Go ahead.
They want to continue doing the Hangara and starting Shiva's birthday. And somehow they want to find it after that, and she is so Shiva's
Because he was crying. So the student thought he's creating a disturbance. So the student took Shivas Thakur and they threw him out. And Devanand Pandit was a great Bhagavatam scholar. He would give classes at Kulinagram. And Shivas Thakur would come to attend the classes because he wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. He come to Kulinagram to hear from Devanand Pandit. So, but because he offended Shivas Thakur, he lost all the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam from his heart. And he became a empty scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam because of his offense to Shivas Thakur. He lost all the taste in his reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So that offense was delivered. He was delivered from that offense here. Now. And you remember how Shivas Thakur was offended by Gopal Chapala? He wanted to participate in the whole night kirtans. Then when Gopal Chapala Brahmana, he said they do Kali worship and they do all the sinful activities outside. Then he said, yes, I do. And then he was contacted by leprosy on the banks of Ganges, and he would outcasted from that Navadip area. He also came to this area of Kulinagram, and he would live by the Ganges, suffering from leprosy. And Devananda Pandit was suffering from emptiness and mundane scholarship. And many other people who offended Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were not able to make any progress. So all these in 7 days, Mahaprabhu delivered everybody. And that was initial purpose of Mahaprabhu. I will take sannyas so I can deliver. And he fulfilled that promise now. That time he took sannyas and he left. He is coming now. And he delivered everybody. So first we will see the story of Devanand Pandit. Are you all clear with this? How Devanand Pandit offended Shivas Thakur? Are we all on the same page? Okay.
Favor to Devananda Pandit. Sometimes after Devananda Pandit committed this offense to Shiva Pandit, Mahaprabhu passed nearby his house and saw that he was engaged in giving a discourse on Bhagavatam. He became angry and rebuked him clearly for his lack of faith in the Vaishnava.
Because he did not have faith in Shivas Thakur. He thought he is great because he speaks on Bhagavatam. He is superior to others. Can you think of some example of who thought he is great and he's superior to everybody else in giving Srimad Bhagavatam classes? Who was killed by Balaramji? What was his name? Ramaharshan Sutas. He also like that. Because he offended Shivas Thakur, that's why. Otherwise, Devanand Pandit is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in this particular pastime, he acted like this. I think he is Bhrigu Muni or some Muni, some in his previous life. Anyone remember? They can check. Something like that. So Mahaprabhu, he was giving class and Mahaprabhu chastised him that because you don't have faith in Vaishnavas, your classes are useless. In Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes.
Just a blasphemy of the devotees is the best way to be deprived of the Lord mercy and destined for fall, downfall, and glorifying them and engaging in their service is the best way to find the mercy of the Lord and become free from all sinful acts.
So what is the best way to fall down? Glory. Yeah. Blasphemy of devotee is the best way to be deprived of Lord's mercy and destined to fall down. Glorifying them and engaging in their service is the best way to find mercy of the Lord and become free from all sinful activities. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat.
If you want to be cured of consuming poison, you must ingest ambrosia to the very same mouth of the poison. In this way, not only will the poison be digested, but your body will become immortal to the ambrosia's healing power.
So have you taken poison anytime? Anyone here has taken poison anytime? This kind of poison of blaspheming devotees. How many of you are blaspheming devotees sometimes? Huh? Might have seen so pure, bro. Yet there are so many clear instances. So what do we do if we have drank that poison of blaspheming devotees? Use the same amount to glorify those devotees. That's the way to overcome that poisonous effect. That ambrosia, that nectar, that will counteract that poison.
Through great good fortune, Mahaprabhu's dear relative, Vakreshwara Pandit came to stay at Devananda Pandita's house because Devananda took excellent care of Vakreshwara. Mahaprabhu's often to working. Previously, Devananda had been completely without any faith in the Lord, but when he heard of Mahaprabhu's glory from Vakreshwara, his attitude changed. Through the association of the Lord's devotee, he began to develop a taste for pure devotion.
So what happened? Vakreshwar Pandit. Who was Vakreshwar Pandit? One of the dancer. You've seen, he would go 4 months and he was one of the dancers in those Rath Yatra parties, Vakreshwar Pandit. So he somehow or other, by divine arrangement, he stayed at the house of Devanand Pandit. And Devanand Pandit was a great offender and he has no faith in Krishna and no faith in Lord Chaitanya. But he was a speaker of Bhagavatam. Quite interesting. But without any faith on the Lord. Just like a mechanical parrot speaker. And he served Vakreshwar Pandit. What happened by serving Vakreshwar Pandit? He developed faith in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His heart transformed. And because he served Vakreshwar Pandit, Mahaprabhu's heart softened. Mahaprabhu was very angry because he offended Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur did not take any offense. But Mahaprabhu became very angry. Likewise, when we offend devotees, the devotee don't even know, they don't even care. But Mahaprabhu becomes angry. Now the idea is to soften the heart of Lord Chaitanya. So how did he soften the heart of Lord Chaitanya? With great care, he served Vakreshwar Pandit. Then Mahaprabhu thought, he's actually not a good guy. He has offended my devotee, but he has served Vakreshwar. So Mahaprabhu became mellow there. And another thing is, Vakreshwar Pandit has such love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave that to Devanand Pandit. And that's how Devanand Pandit was blessed. It says, but when he heard of Mahaprabhu's glories from Vakreshwar, his attitude changed. That's why Prabhupada says we should only hear from devotees. Should not hear from non-devotees. And he says, what is the effect of hearing from non-devotees? What example Prabhupada gives? If we hear from non-devotees. That's by poison. It becomes poisonous. So we don't hear glories about the Lord from non-devotees. Otherwise, it will have an opposite effect. Only devotee we should hear who have faith. When he heard from Bhakteshwar, his heart changed. What did Mahaprabhu say if we hear from Mayavadis? Yeah, he says, Haila Sarvanash. Everything will be destroyed. But you hear from devotees of the Lord and you develop faith. That's why so much emphasis on hearing.
Vilamakutipanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur writes in this regard, for Devani Pandit of Kulia, the faith of service to the Vaishnava was faith in Mahaprabhu's greatest faith. Bhakteshwar Pandit's visit to his house was the source of his auspiciousness.
So Mahaprabhu's the fruit of his service to Vaishnavas was faith in Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. If we have developed faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's because at some point of time we have pleased Vaishnavas who have faith. That's how we got the faith. And if we lack faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you know what to do. Go to farm into his temple, call a devotee to your home. Wherever, call a devotee to your home and serve them. Then you will develop faith. That's why Thakur said that's the fruit of service. The fruit of service to Vaishnava was faith in Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. If somebody comes to you and say, we don't have any faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have faith in Krishna, what do? If you go to their home, cook something for me. If they serve you, they will develop faith. Anyways, okay.
Devananda received this mercy due to living in Pulia or Kolardu, the place where offences are forgiven. Gopal Chakla was also forgiven his offences in Pulia.
So these 9 devotional service, they correspond to 9 aspects of devotional service. Shavaram, Kirtan, Vishnu Smarana. So likewise, there is Antardweep, there is Koladweep, there is Godrum Dweep, there is Simanta Dweep, and there is, there are 9 islands. How many have been to Mayapur? तो दीक्षा भी हो गया आप लोगों का काफी लोगों का मायापुर जाना बनता है ना महाप्रभु का तो पूरा मिशन है Very well. This year Maharaj is doing yatra. Those who are aspiring from Radhanath Maharaj. Already the preparations have started.
That's in October, November, right?
Yeah. I mean, just in case you want to go, but I don't know yet where he is doing the yatra, Maharaj. But he's doing the yatra. Those who want to attend. So he went to Kulia Koladweep. Koladweep is a place where you are forgiven for your offenses. If you feel any offenses, very struggle in your chanting, like myself, go to Koladweep. You will be forgiven from all your offenses. And that's where it is described here. Mahaprabhu forgave Gopal Chapala, Mahaprabhu forgave Devanand Pandit and all the other offenders in Kulia, Koladweep. And Koladweep is the place where is the Samadhi of Jagannath Babaji Maharaj. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Samadhi is in Godrum Dweep. And Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi is in Antardweep. So when you go, just go to all these places. It's very powerful.
Many atheists and blasphemers came and fell at the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord in return excused them and gave them love of Krishna.
So here is Mahaprabhu and everybody is coming and begging forgiveness. And Mahaprabhu, just by glancing, he forgave and gave love of God.
Not looking to go to Vrindavan,
So he became excited. Nasimanda Brahmachari. Mahaprabhu came to Kulinagram. So he knows he came to Kulinagram. So he was like, oh, very nice. Now I will make a way for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You heard this story? We discussed act of devotion. We discussed this story in our energy discussions. Anyone remember this story? If you don't remember, that's good. Then this is more fruitful. So there was a Nasingananda Brahmachari. Don't remember Nasingananda Brahmachari. Okay, so he was a devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he came to know that Mahaprabhu is going to Vrindavan. So he wanted to serve Lord on his way to Vrindavan. So what did he do? He just sat down to serve Lord Chaitanya. It's a very beautiful pastime and very nice lesson. Yes. Yeah.
Was missing on the contemplated a road road, broad road starting from the city of Korea. We better the road with jewels, upon which we then we able of stainless plans.
So you see the picture here? He is imagining that Mahaprabhu is going, and if you see, it's a diamond road and a lot of flowers and the whole decoration and lakes and rivers. So he imagined a big road in Kulinagram in his mind. And then he started putting all the flowers into the road and then uh, um, bedecked with gems. And we will see his meditation. Very beautiful environment, aroma, breeze, everything he gave to Mahaprabhu. And then he would imagine Mahaprabhu would walk. And step by step, he would create a road and he would resume Mahaprabhu would walk. This is when Mahaprabhu is delivering the offenders. He is already building the road for Mahaprabhu, where he will go next. Very interesting, actually. Okay. And these flowers, he would bedeck, does not have stems. So very soft. Okay.
He usually decorated both sides of the road with full of flower trees. And at intervals on both sides, he placed lakes of the transcendental nature.
Spiritual lakes. So Mahaprabhu, there is lake, there is flower on the side, in the center.
These lakes had bathing places constructed with jewels, and they were filled with blossoming lotus flowers. There were various birds creeping, and the water was exactly like nectar.
You like this? Beautiful. Many lotuses coming from the water. This is how Vrindavan is. The ghats are made of jewels, the staircases, and the breeze from those flowers. And the road is bedecked with jewels and stemless flower and small colored, various colored vines. So he would make that description for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to walk. What a meditation, right? Anybody imagine like this? I mean, just this is Manasa Seva. Yes.
The entire road was charged with meaningful tributes, which carried the fragrances from various flowers. He carried the construction of this road as far as Kanai Natasaya.
So he is from Bengal. He knows all the villages. And he is going from Kulinagram to Vrindavan. So he is going through the route. And he went to the city and he created all the roads there, completely absorbed in his meditation. And then he wants to build further and he could not. Some restriction came in his meditation, could not focus on building a lot for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to walk.
Within the mind of Narasimha Brahmachari, the road could not be constructed beyond Kanai Natar Sala. He could not understand why the road construction could not be completed. And thus he was astonished.
And it says, Aage mana nahi chale, na pare bandita. His mind could not go further. And then it says, Narsimha Haila Vishmite. He became like confused, astonished. Why my mind is not making a road any further? Why I'm not able to imagine? I'm not able to focus. This is great. Mahaprabhu is still in Kulinagram. Mahaprabhu has not started and he told all the devotees, निश्चय के साथ बोल रहा हूं मैं आपको, निश्चय करिए कहीं सुना भक्ता गणा, ए बार ना याबे, इस बार महाप्रभु will not yabe, will not go. ए बार ना याबे प्रभु श्री वृंदावन. This time he will not go to Vrindavan. I mean, that requires a lot of faith. If we don't go, we'll say, oh, my mind has some problem. He's not thinking, he's like so confident that he is one with Lord Chaitanya. in devotion. Prabhupada said that's what oneness means. Means your desire, Mahaprabhu manifests through you fully. So he could not go and he's like, निश्चय के साथ बोल रहा हूँ, Mahaprabhu will not go to Vrindavan this time. All the devotees were shocked. So this shows how advanced was Nasikanth Brahmachari. Great, right? All of his assistant Nasikanth Brahmachari.
For a pure devotee, it is the same whether he materially constructs a path or construct one within his mind. This is because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janatana, is Bhavagrahi or appreciative of the sentiment. For him, a path made with actual viewers and a path made of mental viewers are the same.
When we meditate on serving a Lord, um, it's as good as when you're personally serving the Lord, because he takes only bhav. Material circumstances, it's not dependent. Prabhupada further says, Yome Bhakta Prayachati, Patram Pushpam Phalam Yome Bhakta Prayachati. He said the principle is bhakti, bhav. And he was putting his heart to serve the Lord in that way. But he had a desire to serve the Lord in that way. All glories to Nrsimha Brahmachari.
So subtle mind is also matter. So any path will do anything for the service of the Lord, whether in gross matter or in subtle matter, is accepted because by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord accepts the attitude of his devotee and sees how much he is prepared to serve him.
It is said that on advanced stages of devotion, devotees constantly serve the Lord in their mind. Constantly. But in the beginning stages, because our mind is not so pure, it is recommended that we serve the Lord with the body, with the physical body. That's why it is said in Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, work is said to be the means for attaining perfection, and at advanced stages, cessation of work is said to be the means for attaining perfection. Cessation of work means you go from physical to mental. That's why it is said the main path is Shravanam in Vidhi Marg and Smaranam in Rag Marg. Main path becomes Smaranam. The main process is Smaranam. They just serve the Lord constantly wherever they are. But our mind is not ready for that. Our mind will think all the problems that are in our life. And so many things mind will think. But all glory to Nrsimha Brahmachari. And there are many stories, right? Who serve the Lord mentally. Yeah, so many stories. Jiva Goswami, Srinivas Acharya, and that South Indian Brahmin who was making the kheer to offer to Lord Krishna. So many stories of mentally serving, and they are seeing. Jiva Goswami is playing with colors and he came out with color. शर्मा जी वो एक स्टेज है जहाँ पे जाना चाहते हैं हम लोग. And the only thing that is needed to go there is Rupa Goswami says greed चाहिए. Greed होना चाहिए, मतलब कि वहां जाना है, तब भगवान मदद करेंगे. We need to have that desire. I want to go there. I'm recently reading a book, and by one of the ISKCON sannyasis, and he is mentioning about there has to be a sankalpa for devotional service. Sankalpa means bhava sankalpa. Whatever I am doing is to attain bhava. If it is not goal oriented, then we may become relaxed in our Krishna consciousness. We may focus on, I need some nice job, I need some nice wealth, I need some nice home, I need some nice this. But if the goal is clear, ki this is what I want to attain, then you work very hard for the goal. But without goal, we will just focus on wherever the mind takes. So that is the sankalpa, he says. Whatever devotional service you do it with a bhava sankalpa, ki bhava attend karna, prema attend karna. All the devotional service do in that perspective. Okay, life is very short, right? And the path is very long. If we are really honest, we will understand how much advancement we have made so far and how far we have to go. That will at least make us humble. At least वो feeling the energy कि we are great souls. देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, देखो यहाँ क्या हो रहा है. So then we should strive to attain that success. It's a very long journey. I mean, so many stages to cross, and time is less.
The devotee is at liberty to serve the Lord either in gross matter or in subtle matter. The important point is that the servants be in relation with the Supreme Personality of God. Matters, smell, healthy, fascinating, young, first, small, marking, nischala, marina. Pushing on the brahmachari said, the Lord will break Tani Matasana and Kanya and then he will return. All parties will come to know of this matter, but I know say this with great assurance.
You all come to know later, but I am telling you, he won't go beyond Kanai Natasha. This is guaranteed. Okay, so I guess we will end here.
So in the meditation, the mentioning the Brahmaswami, Mahaprabhu is going.
He came to know Mahaprabhu is in Kuliagram. He came to Mahaprabhu going to Vrindavan. So he just sat down in his home and he started making a road mentally for Mahaprabhu to go to Vrindavan. And he spent many hours building the road. When he went to Kanai Natashala, he could not go further. Then he understood Mahaprabhu is not going beyond Kanai Natashala.
It is very from Kuliagram to Vrindavan.
Yeah, from Kulinagram, if you go to Vrindavan, then there is Ram Kelli, Kanai Natashala, and then from there you go to Vrindavan. But he could not build a road further. So he understood Mahaprabhu is not going further. Otherwise, he had that faith that whatever service I am doing is actually Mahaprabhu doing that service through me. It is only by the mercy of Mahaprabhu that I am able to do this. But Mahaprabhu is not allowing me any further. Because absorption is not based on us. Absorption is based on the Lord's mercy. He could feel Lord's mercy. That's why he would complete the road and he was very focused in meditation. Nectar of Instruction, 8th verse describes there is recollection, then there is absorption, and then there is meditation, then there is smriti, anusmriti, dhuvanusmriti, which is like in the beginning, meditation is just based on something we heard or read, and some recollection may come. Then it becomes absorption. Like sometime it will be absorbed, and then it comes into meditation. Then smriti, and then anusmriti, dhuvanusmriti, samadhi, which is like complete absorption. It is not possible without the mercy of the Lord. So he was in a stage of samadhi, he could sit and fully absorbed in building the road, no other thoughts will come. And that is the Lord's mercy that his whole mind turned into service to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is his love for Lord Chaitanya? His feeling for Lord Chaitanya. How do we understand? Okay. Grantha Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Mataji's Prabhuji's Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.